You know, with the summer coming to an end, some children may be feeling anxious about the upcoming school year. Needham Youth and Family Services say it's completely normal for kids to feel anxious, and there are several support systems in place to assure them everything is going to be fine. It's important for parents to be aware of the ways they can help reduce their child's anxiety coming into the school year.
I think it's really understandable when kids feel anxious about going back to school. Everyone has a hard time with transitions and change. Some of the warning signs where it might be more than just a little anticipatory anxiety could be school refusal, or really if your kids are acting in a way that's quite different than their normal behavior.
So we're seeing a lot of kids right now are actually very open about being anxious about going to school. The start of school, they're starting to talk to their parents about it, talk to their friends about it. But if your child's not talking about it and you're suspecting something, the main thing you want to look for is a significant change in behavior. So they start withdrawing from friends, they're not as social as they used to be, they're isolating themselves, they seem more depressed, they aren't showing the same kind of emotion they were showing before, they're not showing enjoyment in activities. So those are all signs that something is going on, and definitely the cause could be being anxious about school starting.
We like to tell families in our office that parents are the experts on their children. So as soon as you get in that feeling that just something's a little off, kids just aren't being their happy selves, well then maybe it's worth having a conversation about it.
I think if parents can just reassure kids, do the best you can. No one has to be perfect. I think that there's this level of perfectionism that children think that they need to reach. And a lot of parents really just want their kids to have a happy and successful life. And it's not necessarily about what grades you get.
Parents always want to fix things for their kids. They don't want their children to ever have to feel an ounce of sadness or worry. But when we jump right to the fix, we're taking away the kid's ability to problem solve. So asking, like, what are you worried about? What parts make you feel nervous about going back to school? And sitting and listening to what they have to say first, then switching into, well, what could we do about it?
We see a lot of children or students really feeling isolated about being anxious about going to school, and just a reminder that other kids are in the same boat that they are, and there's a lot of supports in place to help.
One of the biggest things about school anxiety is the sadness that comes with the end of summer. No one's ready for those summer days to go, and so making plans as a family can be a really positive way to reduce some of that anxiety. Having something to look forward to, taking time away from the schoolwork to just do things and have fun, that's a really good opportunity to relieve some stress in a constructive way.
Not only do kids in Needham have the pressure of their parents and themselves to be successful, but there's also that social pressure because so many students do very well in Needham. So we're seeing them being really anxious about being able to compete with their friends in addition to being successful.
The biggest things that we hear in our office are, I'm not going to know anybody, or I don't know anybody in my classes, or what if I get lost because I don't know my way around the school? And then it really turns into the power of yet. You don't know anybody in your class yet because you haven't gotten there. You don't know your way around the building yet because you haven't had time to wander around and figure out where you're going. And all of those things are just going to take time, which is really hard to sit with. But at the end of every school year, we also hear kids say, oh, I was able to do it and it worked out absolutely fine. It's just kind of building up that confidence to make sure everybody, whether they're going into kindergarten or going into their senior year, knows that they're going to be able to do it, and they have lots of supports in place too.